welcome back to the Craft Castle. My name is Ashley, and clearly by the stack on my counter, I love Cricut. I love the Cricut craft cutting machines, and at one point in time 2 years ago, I actually had 4 more sitting over here on my counter. Now, before we deep dive further into this video, I just want you to know that I'll be forever grateful for the Cricut craft cutting machines. Why? Because I had a successful 6-figure business on Etsy selling items that I made with my Cricuts. I, at one point in time, used every single Cricut that was on my counter all at once, and it was amazing. I was making serious dollars over there. Now, I do say this as was and as past tense because within this last few months, I've actually closed my Etsy shop down in order to focus on other new Etsy sellers wanting to also make 6 figures. So I now, instead of running my own 6-figure shop, I help other people run their own 6-figure shop. But that's neither here or there. What we are talking about today is Cricut in the downward spiral that I feel like it is going in. And it's not just me. My friend Tanner over at Maker's Gonna Learn have been chatting a lot about Cricut and what in the world is going on. And if you look at all of his videos that he has and the comments that he has in the videos that he's been posting, a lot of users are having problems with Cricut. Why? They keep releasing new machines. They keep having rumors of an embroidery machine or buying Glowforge. But why can't they just focus on the machines that they have and the users they have right now? Take care of us. Anyway, I try and avoid these hard conversations as best as possible. But the one thing that I have come to realize is the people that are having not the greatest experience using Cricut, we need to start speaking up. We need to press that little support button on Cricut Design Space. We need to be more boisterous in the message boards. We need to be more boisterous in the Cricut Facebook groups and try and entice Cricut headquarters to do better for us. Now, there are 3 important things that I want to talk about in this video, and I'm going to get into them real quick. This video is going to be short, sweet, and to the point, and then you can leave me all of your thoughts and opinions in the comments of this video. Let's have a healthy dialogue about what in the world is going on here. Now, let's cover the very first thing that I get asked almost daily, and that is, would I recommend Cricut craft cutting machines? Again, Cricut helped me build my 6-figure business, so I will forever be grateful for that. There are different models of a Cricut, and the one that I would suggest is the Cricut Explore Air 2, which is every single one that is right here. I have this little baby joy that's right here because I love anything miniature, so I definitely had to pick one up. But if I was going to recommend a model, it would be the Explore Air 2. It is going to be the most affordable, and you're going to be able to do a lot of things on this that you do not have to spend the $500 on a Cricut maker. I have had 3 Cricut makers, only have paid for 1 because the other 2 were replacements of warranty because the one that I purchased kept breaking. And you can see right here, I don't even have it anymore because the 3rd one broke within a week. And so I just said, forget it, I am done. That being said, I always suggest doing the Explore Air 2s because these right here are workhorses. They will work and work and work and never complain. I absolutely love the Explore Air 2s. Now, there is another secondary popular option in the craft cutting machines, and that is going to be the silhouettes. I don't have any silhouettes on my stack. I have had a couple silhouettes. I do love their program. I just don't really like the way that their machines cut, so I don't have any. Now, these 2 right here are made from a brand called Caesar. You will best know them for their HTV. Caesar came out with the Romeo and Juliet. This is a 24-inch cutter, and this is a 12-inch cutter. And I absolutely love the way that these machines cut. Every single time I cut anything with those machines, it can do fabric, it can do vinyl, it can do paper, it can do all the things that a Cricut can do. These machines can do, but the cuts are chef's kiss. They are absolutely amazing. Now, their programming, because this is a brand new set of machines, I would say fairly young. They're not brand new. They're a few years old, but their programming is an up-and-coming programming. They're definitely not done making it better, but if you're a longtime Cricut user, you're gonna go over here and you're gonna go, whoa, there's like not a lot going on. You have more functionalities when it comes to the Cricut. It just looks a little different. What I always tell people when they ask me is if you've ever seen the programming for Silhouette and then you've seen the programming for Cricut, the Caesar programming is right in the middle of both of them. So you have a lot more options than the Cricut design space, but then you have less options than the Silhouette design space. The one vast difference between Silhouette and Caesar versus Cricut is you can save your own SVG and PNG files to your computer, which if you have been a longtime Cricut user, you will know you can't save your files unless you hack the crap out of your file, which I do have tutorials on how to save your SVG files from Cricut onto your computer. But holy cow, is it a long workaround? It's just so much easier to press Save SVG to your computer, and it just automatically goes to your computer. Now, Cricut, Caesar, and Silhouette are not the only craft cutting machines on the market. There is definitely a lot more brands, like I think Brother has one, and Scan and Cut has one. I think there was another one that came out, but also I do have a little bit of insider knowledge for you. Xtool came out with a brand new machine. It's the M1 Ultra. I actually have it inside the craft room, and it's really cool. It's actually 3 machines in one. It's a Cricut, an inkjet printer over there, just a regular basic inkjet printer, and also a laser all in one machine. This machine is actually really stinking cool. I've been playing around with it for the last couple weeks, and I am impressed. So if you're sitting here and you're thinking, you know what, I'm actually just gonna splurge and get the more expensive Cricut Maker for $500, I would hold out and I would buy for a couple $100 more the Xtool M1 Ultra, because you're not only going to get the Cricut Maker with every single blade that it comes with, you're also going to get an inkjet printer, you're also going to get a laser cutter, and this laser cutter can engrave on metal, it can cut wood, it can engrave all the things, and also it's coming out with a riser base, so you can engrave round objects like tumblers, which is amazing. So we're talking a Cricut. We are talking like a Glowforge laser printer like the Auras. Then we're also talking about an inkjet printer all into one, and it's a desktop laser. So if you are a crafter that has minimal space, this machine is going to be your dream come true, because you just eliminated 3 machines into one. The footprint is amazing. The laser, I keep calling it the ultimate crafting machine because that's essentially what it is. It does so much. It's worth it. So if you're sitting here thinking, you know what, I'm gonna splurge on the Cricut Maker, just save up some more dollars and get the M1 Ultra through Xtool. And I'll link the M1 Ultra down here in the description of the video, because I'm telling you right now, I'm absolutely impressed with this machine. Okay, so now let's talk about the dreaded Cricut updates that happen, I feel, almost weekly. Every single time they come out with an update, I hold my breath, I load up the app, and pray to the crafting gods that everything is okay. Recently, what has happened is that Cricut came out with this update, and a crafter like me who sells their own SVG files on their Cardstock website has came into a little bit of an issue. And that is that when someone buys my SVG file and they go to Cricut, there is now this error message that comes up, and it is, the file is not good, whatever. I'm going to show you how to make sure that you don't get this error message, because frankly, I have seen this so much in my own DMs, emails, and in my shop messages, that I just need to put it out there. And I just want you to know that if you're having an issue with the Cricut, it's not just with this specific issue alone. If I find that there is a glitch within Cricut Design Space, I always do these steps. The reason for that is because it's the only thing that seems to work. It's my tried and true method, and I absolutely just use it all the time. So let's go to the computer, and I'm going to show you what you're going to do to get out of the Design Space glitch loop. Now let's just say that I'm having issues with Cricut Design Space right now. This can be independent to certain files that you have, or even just a Cricut-wide issue. Like I have been seeing a lot of people having issues with print and cut, or even uploading their own SVG files. They get that error message. There are a lot of glitches that happen within Cricut Design Space when they do updates, and this is my tried and true method. What I always do is go over here, and this will be your name. You're gonna wanna click on that and then go down to settings. Now, do you see this application experience right here? The application experience, what you want to do is toggle between beta and live. Sometimes I see glitches in the live, so then you're going to want to switch over to beta. When you do that, what you're going to do is press done. Now, make sure you save your whatever file you're working on. Make sure you save it before you switch, because once you do that, you've lost your work. But then what you want to do is press done. So what's going to happen is the Cricut is going to update the Cricut design space to whatever new mode that you're going to be using or want to use. Now, it does take some time to do this. The reason why is because they are giving you a whole new version of Cricut design space, whether that's beta or live. Like I said earlier, there are times where I'm in the live version and I find glitches. I switch over into the beta version and they're not there. However, there are times where I'm in the beta version and there's a ton of glitches over there. I switch over to the live and the glitches aren't there. So I am always, the very first thing I do is go and switch over my modes, just so it gets me out of the glitches that I'm currently seeing. It is my tried and true method. Now that it's done updating, you're going to be able to continue doing whatever it is that you normally do on Cricut Design Space, and hopefully at this point you will have no errors. And like I said, let's just say that you have been playing around with Cricut Design Space. I was able to go ahead and cut this file out, had no issues, but then I went ahead and used a different project to do something else and I saw more issues or a different issue. I would just go back over here, press settings, and then switch over my application experience to whatever it is that I'm not in. So if you're having issues in beta, just switch over to live and vice versa. And I do this often. It's unfortunate that I have to do this often, but it is the thing that helps me get the best experience while using Cricut Design Space. And as I said earlier at the very beginning of this, is that we need to start using this button called Report Issue. This right here is very, very, very important, because hopefully if enough of us users press that report button and start reporting bugs, we are going to start seeing some changes happening. So make sure and press that button, because I want to see some changes. I'm not the only one that needs to start pressing that button. You know what I mean? So the very last thing I want to talk about is the brand new Cricut Contributing Artist program. This right here has caused a whole bunch of stirs within the Cricut crafting community, especially those that have been longtime SVG sellers on their own website or through Etsy or whatever. Now, for me, I am only going to be looking at the very homepage of this. I am not going to be joining a wait list or trying to apply. The reason for this is at the very end and at the bottom of their webpage, and I already have it highlighted. It says that the program's terms and conditions will be provided to you after you have applied and been accepted. Now, I feel like maybe that should be more transparent and we should be given terms and conditions before ever applying. I mean, Amazon Prime, if you wanted to be a handmade seller over on Amazon, they give you terms and conditions before you apply. I feel like I should be given some terms and conditions before applying. It's like you're signing up for something, you have no idea what you're signing up for. You're just trying to trust a company to have your best interest, but I don't know if they do. Now, there have been other Cricut users that have applied for the program and got accepted in the program, and they have been able to see the full terms and conditions of the program, and I have seen enough from their complaints to know that I just won't be signing up for that. So you're gonna have to do your own research if this is something that you are very interested in doing. Now, it's definitely not a bad thing. I mean, of course, everyone wants to earn passive income. That's the whole part of life, right? It's like we want to be able to feed ourselves, but in a passive way. I mean, that would be the true journey in life, is to be able to become rich and passively rich. You know what I mean? Okay, so let's go through this. First, it says monthly payment. You get paid through Stripe. Stripe is just a payment account. I have Stripe. You get paid once a month. That's essentially what Cricut is saying.
No exclusivity. So Cricut, they say Cricut doesn't own your work. I have seen other people say otherwise, but you know what? I have not been able to see the terms and conditions, so I'm not entirely sure if that's true or not. But they say no exclusivity. What that means is if I put an SVG file up on Cricut Design Space as a contributing artist, I'll be able to take that file and sell it on my own Etsy shop, on my own Shopify shop. If I wanted to upload it onto Creative Fabrica or any other programs or websites like that, you could do that. That's what they're saying. Again, I have seen other people say other things. I'm not entirely sure myself. Okay, analytics. See how your artwork is performing with the Cricut members. So that is helpful. So if you do plan on doing this full time, let's just say you upload a square and then you upload a font that has, that says America the Beautiful on it. What's going to happen is the analytics, you're going to be able to see, and you're going to see that 0 people used your square for their projects, but 200 people used your America the Beautiful SVG file. To you then, what that is going to say is continue uploading things like your America the Beautiful SVG file, and don't continue to do your basic shapes because people aren't using that. Do you see what I'm saying? So analytics are definitely helpful, just so you know what to do more of and you're not spinning your wheels. Global recognition. I honestly just feel like this is just entice you to be in here. That Cricut is saying that they have 8 million members or 8 million users on Cricut Design Space, so you can potentially reach 8 million users. Are their numbers factual? I don't know. That's just something that you're going to have to research yourself, but I feel like this number right here is just to entice you to be in their program. The thing right here says no downloads. Cricut members can only use your artwork in Cricut Design Space. Now I have to tell you, I am guilty of this on my own channel, is that when I build my files through Cricut using shapes or whatever, I have videos of it where, yes, although we're not technically allowed to download our SVG files from Cricut Design Space, there are people like me and other people that don't have videos up, but they just know how to do it. They know how to take their SVG files and take them out of Cricut Design Space and use them in other applications like a laser or even to sell. There is a way and there is a work around that. So although it says no downloads, I'm just telling you that there is a possibility to download your SVG files from Cricut Design Space onto your computer to be used elsewhere or even sold. So this right here, yeah, sure. Is there not going to be a button that says download your SVG file? Yes, there isn't a button that says that we get to download an SVG file, but there is still a workaround. That being said, this is a clear indication to me that we will never be able to save our own SVG files within Cricut Design Space. So the one thing that I have always hoped and wished for is the ability to save my own SVG files, because I do love the user-friendly atmosphere of Cricut Design Space. But the one thing that it's always lacked, from 12 years ago, I've been a Cricut user for 12 years now. And the one thing that I've always hoped and prayed for is the ability to just have a button that says save to my computer. It's not ever going to be there. This right here to me is a clear indication that it is never going to be there. And that is kind of sad for me. It is really sad. It is the one thing that I do love about the Silhouette program. It's the one thing I do love about the Caesar program. And it is the one thing that I love about the Xtool program, which I have to let you know that the Silhouette and the Caesar program, if you wanted to save your own SVG files, those are upgraded features. And with the Xtool program, if you're looking to go into a different craft cutting machine, the Xtool program, saving your own SVG files, is free to you. That's not an additional upgraded feature. So with Silhouette and Caesar, you do have to pay for that feature. So that is just something to keep in mind. And then Artist Purse, think artists only webinars, contests, discounts, and more. Again, I think that's just another one of these, hey, entice you to become a member. this right here is the same thing like this right here. It just is enticing you. Like, oh, if you want to be more exclusive, if you wanted to join the club that not everyone's going to be able to get into, this is another perk that you're going to be able to get. So this is, I guess, a little insider thing of what they say that the program is going to include and you know what you're going to get. Okay, so here is where, how do I earn the money, which I think is actually pretty important to talk about because we're not working for free, y'all. You know what I mean? Okay, so the very first thing is artwork performance. Earn when Cricut members cut your artwork. What they're saying is Cricut members as Cricut Access members. So if you don't know anything about Cricut Access is a paid for insider thing. I actually pay for it, but I am not going to be renewing my subscription when it's over. That being said, you can pay it per month or you can pay it per year. I have always been on a yearly membership, and I think it's like $100 a year. It's not terribly expensive. The reason why I am not going to renew it this year and going forward for any other year is there are other avenues that are cheaper that give you a lot more, like Creative Fabrica. Creative Fabrica is my go-to SVG, PNG, laser file, everything. Anything and everything you need is going to be found at Creative Fabrica. So, and it's $40 a month or $50. It's like $50 a year. I'll link it in the description of this video just so you know where I am going instead of at Cricut Access. So going back to this, artwork performance. Earn when Cricut members cut your artwork. How much? I don't know. Let's just say that a Cricut Access member like myself who's paid $100 for the year uses your America the Beautiful SVG file. I'm going to continue using that just so we don't confuse ourselves here. You put up an America the Beautiful SVG file, I go ahead and use it. You're going to get a portion out of my $100 a year into your bank account. I don't think it's going to be that much. I think it's probably going to be pennies on the dollar here, but I don't know. The whole thing about transparency here is we don't know. They don't list that here. There's not a number as to what you're going to get. So kind of like over here on YouTube. YouTube has a bidding thing when it comes to like YouTube ads and how you get paid and, you know, the monetization. Sometimes there's some videos of mine that get 2 cents per minute watched or clicks per minute or whatever it is. 2 cents. And then there's some videos that I get like 57 cents. Is that the same way it's going to be here? I don't know. It all depends on my performance. Sometimes when my performance is bad on a video, I'm going to get less cents. Sometimes when it's really good, I get more. So it just depends on my performance of that video. So if your America the Beautiful SVG file that you upload is a low, you know, only gets 5 users to upload it, I'm assuming that you're going to get paid far less than somebody that uploaded another America the Beautiful SVG file that got 2,000 people. I think that fee is going to change. I think it's going to be different. The reason why I think it's going to be different is because they don't list it here. That's why I think it's going to be different. Now, going over into the royalty on purchases. This is going to be like if you're in Cricut Design Space, and I'll just go and show it to you. Okay, let's just say that you did not pay for Cricut Access. And this was a la carte, which is what we're talking about right now. You're going to see this crossed out thing right here. For me, the reason why it's crossed out is because I pay for Cricut Access. So I have this little A right here, and I have the ability to have all of these SVG files and PNG files available for me to use. That being said, if I did not pay for Cricut Access, you would see this 99-cent thing. Now, let's just say that this cheer banner thing was your SVG file, okay? And I used it. Oh, where did it go? This one. And I used this. When I would go and press make, I would have a button that said purchase, and I would get charged 99 cents. The user pays 99 cents to use this. Once we pay for it, we're going to have it forever. The way that Cricut is going to pay you is a royalty, 50%. So $1, you're only going to get 50 cents out of that dollar. And if 5 other users also use that same banner, you're going to get 50 cents per purchase. So 50 times 5 is $2.50. So you're going to get $2.50 for 5 users. Now, this is great and all. You're going to get passive income just by uploading your SVG files and being able to sell them and get 50% royalty. But 50% royalty is bananas. I think that's like way too high. I don't know, an 80-20 would be great. Like I keep the 80, you keep the 20. I don't even know. I feel like 50-50 is just, is bananas. And it's great that you're going to have access to 8 million people, but like, hello, I think Etsy has access to like 35 million buyers, and you can put your SVG files up there. I sell my SVG files in my Etsy shop for $7, and they sell a lot. And guess what? I keep 80% of how much people pay on Etsy, and I'm selling them for way more than $1. Now you can set your own prices. I believe you can set your own prices and you can make it higher, but when I don't know, 50% is way too high. Yeah, so that's just one thing where I'm like, whoa, that's high. They also have some frequently asked questions, and the one thing, I did read all of them. You can read them yourself. I'll link this page down in the description of this video so you can read more of them. These three things right here is what I mostly want to just touch base on. You can read all the rest on your own time. But okay, so can I remove my artwork from Cricut Design Space? Once you upload it, if you decide that this program is not for you, you can't take it off. So it is going to be forever there. So what I have read is that when you sign up for this program, you have to have 5 SVG files ready to go and upload. That is going to be your portfolio submission. That is what Cricut is going to look at to say, hey, is this designer worthy of signing up for this program? You have to have 5 files. So make sure, just because I wouldn't want you to put up, your best selling. If you're like a long-time SVG seller, I would not want you to start with your best selling SVG files. Start with more basic ones and see what the actual terms and conditions are. If you read the entire terms and conditions and then you decide, yes, this program is for me, then go ahead and upload all the rest of your SVG files. But really what I'm trying to encourage you to do is, if this program you think is going to be for you, upload your 5 basic SVG files, get into the program, read the terms and conditions. If you like the terms and conditions, upload the rest of your portfolio. If you don't, at least the 5 that you uploaded aren't going to be the ones that you wish you never uploaded, because you won't be able to remove it once you put it on there. Okay, and then can people download the artwork elsewhere? They say no, but did I tell you earlier that you can figure out ways to take Cricut Design Space files off of Cricut Design Space and use them elsewhere and sell them elsewhere? They say no, I say crafters will find a way. Crafters will find a way to get their files out of Cricut Design Space. It has been done and it will continue to be done, and that's just what it is. So although they say no, I say don't hold your breath. Okay, the last thing and final thing, and I think this is because it is a fairly new program, so they don't really have the ability to do too much. They want to just, start it easy and then work into harder projects. So right now, the only thing that is being accepted is single image SVGs. What that means is if you have a cut file, I am going to use this. However, you cannot upload copyrighted images onto this program. So just keep that in mind when I show you. This right here is a tutorial that we did in a different video. But this is the new NV character from Inside Out 2. This is an SVG file that we created together in Inkscape, and then I uploaded it into Cricut Design Space. Now, because she's a copyrighted image, I would not be able to put this as a contributing artist on their program, but this is a prime example of what I'm talking about. This is a single image SVG file. She is one image and it's all SVG. I'm only cutting her out. I'm not doing anything else. I'm not scoring her. I'm not building a box with her. There's not a print then cut feature here. It is only using one tool, and that one tool is the cutting tool. Nothing else is being done with her. There's no assembly instructions needed. Pretty fairly simple. She is a cut file. In a different video, we also did this right here, which is that UV HTV t-shirt. This right here was just a cut file. You could upload something like this because it's just cut. Now, things that you're not going to be able to upload right now. I'm sure this is going to change in the future because this program's brand new. I would say that that's the reason why you're not going to be able to upload stuff like this. So these right here, again, you can't upload these because they're copyrighted, but it's a good example. These right here are little Polaroid pictures of the new Inside Out movie characters I created in Canva. I own the PNG files. I own the PNG files. I created the PNG files. Technically, I don't own them because they're copyrighted, but that's not near here or there. What I am going to say is that this right here is a print then cut file. You can't upload this because you have to print and then cut. So keep that in mind for this. Also, another thing that you cannot upload is something like this that requires assembly. We created this in a different video, but this not only had cutting, which it is an SVG file. You can cut this. The two things that are an additional to this is that you need a score line here, and then we also scored the letters at the very front so we can easily assemble the cardstock on the front. You're not going to be able to upload this because there's multiple steps. We are going to be cutting this and scoring this. So things that require instructions on how to assemble isn't something that you're going to be able to upload right now. I am certain that it's not going to be like that forever. Cricut will eventually, I'm assuming that they're going to allow you to do a lot more things eventually. But for right now, because this is just a very new program, I think they're just testing the waters with single cut SVG files to see how that runs. And then they will move on to harder and more difficult projects. So just keep that in mind when you are uploading your files, because when you do your artwork submission, you don't want to submit artwork that won't be accepted, because then you could have a chance of getting rejected, and nobody likes to be rejected on anything. So if you are interested in this program, just make sure that you follow the rules that they're asking. You upload what they're asking and only what they're asking, and then see the terms and conditions. I strongly suggest that if you are wanting to do this program, to read the terms and conditions. Please. That's all. That's really all truly I want you to do in this program. When you try and sign up, read the terms and conditions, please. Okie dokie, crafty friends. Now, let's get into it, because this right here is a public forum. I want to hear your thoughts and opinions on everything that I've talked about today. I don't want you to hold back. There are two reasons why I don't want you to hold back. One, Cricut is watching. For sure, Cricut is watching. Two, if there's anything that I can help you with, I want to be able to help you. So if that means that you're having mass issues with Cricut and I know a solve for that, I want to help you out, because the last thing that I want is frustrated crafters, because we don't try and craft to be frustrated. We try and craft to get rid of our frustrations. At least I do. I only craft when I'm frustrated. I truly love to craft when I'm frustrated, because it really does let me think and, get away and escape life problems. Probably not a good thing, but you know what? I do anyways. That being said, I am truly, genuinely interested in all your thoughts and opinions about Cricut, about Cricut machines, about Cricut Design Space, about even the Cricut program. What are your thoughts and opinions? Put them in the comments of this video, because I want to start talking more about Cricut. I don't want to hide in the shadows with everyone else and be complaining to my husband about my issues with Cricut. I want to bring them out to the public so everyone else knows also that you're not alone, and that hopefully if we start banding together in our hopes of having a better program or better machine, that Cricut will listen, because I know that they're watching. I truly do know that they're watching. So make sure and put all the comments in the video, and I will see you on my next video.